Don't cry, it's bad. I mean, it's thumping against it. It's definitely got worse. Lovely. I've had a 6, 7, an 8, and now a 10. Let's try this webcam. Let's go. Look at that. Fell in. Bag's falling over. That milk's going to fall off. Oh, sun's come out again. As for being evil weather. God! Bloody hell. Well, that top one's never done it before. The top one's never done that before. Get out.
Oh well, we're back eat things before they go. Of course, we couldn't do this when we was in the Navy. We didn't have these things. We had to hang on to everything.
Ice, there's not going to be ice all over the place.
But you could see it. You could see with the crest of the wave, couldn't you?
Oh, I know. That's why I bought this. Because I missed that one.
Yeah. Well, you thought you'd be experienced. You get still.
Yeah. I thought we were going to go again then for a minute.
Yeah.
Right, let 'em.
I thought it was last, but it's only Go down to one glass.
Well, I'd have to hang on to it.
Well, we were for the crow's nest and there was one mighty crash. I don't know what's gone. The crow's nest.
The ship.
Bar. The ship, I don't know what, not the bar and all sorts.
Yeah, it's a bit on here, isn't it? No good.
Did you see that?
Now, when you go off around the world, that's what you do.
That's
You go west. East.
Go round through the Mediterranean first.
no. We'll be coming back to Mediterranean. We'll be going from west, from here to Madeira, Madeira to Barbados, Barbados to
Yeah.
Mexico, Panama
You
Canal,
always go that way.
and Oriana will go the other way around. So we go
Oh, the other end goes the other way.
So she goes all the clocks forward, we
Yeah.
go all the clocks behind.
Did you meet up? Did you meet up with the other end?
We don't pick up the program. It's in the middle of the sea, the night time. So chance like that, but we can miles and miles of it.
Yeah, I just wondered if you actually had a day in port together somewhere.
No. We might we get some other ship like the America, Amsterdam, something like that. Just one. that explosives is along with us, like on the same day as
And what were the nearest port of call that's home to you?
Doing a milk pot for me. One down now. Oh no. Look. Oh God.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain. Well, we have now turned Aurora onto an easterly heading, and this is putting the prevailing wind and swell onto the port quarter behind us on the port side. Our stabilisers are still working overtime, and the conditions on board are relatively stable. We have slowed the ship down to effect the repair to the affected window frame on board. So for the present time, as I say, we will continue on this course, and therefore you can continue to move around the ship as you would normally. Of course, I would ask you to continue to use the handrails where provided. Before we turn on to a northerly heading, if it's necessary, I will make another broadcast. But in the meantime, our ship's engineers and deck team are effecting repairs to the window frame affected, and when that repair is completed, we will then set a course for Lisbon. I'll give you a further broadcast as required. Thank you.
Banging going on. Maybe it's the waves. Crew go to their cabins on this deck, you know, right to the end, just down the corridor.
Okay, then push a little bit. Yeah, okay, push down, 1, 2, 3. Get these down on the pins, don't they? Yeah, okay,
It's a very eventful cruise, this one.
It's exciting, isn't it? So very...
First time I've done this one. What memories I've got.
I'll come down that side too. It's a little bit better.
So is that just for tonight?
Yeah. Yes, it should be.
Okay.
Thank you very much for letting us come in.
That's alright.
Sorry for disturbing you.
No, that's fine. You have to do it.
Unfortunately, yes.
Good night.
Well, we've been turned onto this easterly heading now for about an hour, and in that time we have been able to effect a repair to the window which had become damaged on the port side of F deck, deck number 5. And because this repair is now effected, in about 10 minutes time we will be altering course back onto our original heading. So those of you who want to go along to the second sit-in showing, Curzon's, the cabaret with Stuart Gillies, I would ask you to make your way along there now, because once you're seated in your seats, it'll be a good opportunity for us to turn the ship back onto the original course. I do expect the ship initially to heel, and she may roll somewhat on the original heading. Of course, we have had to slow down and alter course to the east, and because of this it will affect our arrival time into Lisbon. We will make best possible speed given the prevailing conditions on board, but I don't expect to be alongside for the original time, possibly around 10 o'clock in the morning. And if that is the case, we will adjust tours where necessary, and we'll give you all the information in the morning. So thank you for your forbearance in these matters. So in about 10 minutes time I'll make another announcement as we start our turn up to the original heading en route to Lisbon. Thank you. I apologise for the delay, But we are going to start to turn the ship onto the original heading. So the fins are out and we're proceeding at a moderate speed, so we are hopeful that the movement of the ship will not be any more excessive than it was earlier on this evening. We'll make as good a speed as possible, and say we will probably be alongside in Lisbon around 10 o'clock in the morning. All things willing. Just to advise those passengers who live on the port side of F deck, that's 5 deck, on the port side, the whole of the port side of F deck have had storm shutters, steel shutters have been placed in way of your windows. And this is just a precautionary measure. It just does mean that in the morning time you won't get the sunrise coming through the windows, but we should be in a position to remove them once we get into Lisbon. So as I say, if you get back to your cabin and you live on F deck and there is a steel shutter in the window, then don't be surprised, and I do apologise for any inconvenience that this causes to you. This is the last broadcast I intend to make this evening, so do try to enjoy the rest of the evening, and I'll update you in the morning with our progress coming into Lisbon. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's go.